Here's to veterans from
My friend Irma.
Here's to Veterans, a fast-moving quarter hour of entertainment and helpful information brought to you transcribed by the top-flight talent of radio in cooperation with the Veterans Administration, dedicated to the citizens who served in our armed forces, now working shoulder to shoulder with their fellow Americans to make a stronger and better America for us all. So here's to you ex-soldiers, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen from My Friend Irma, starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane, with John Brown as Al and Leif Erikson as Richard.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect blendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
There's a saying that opposites attract, and I live with an opposite, my friend Irma. Now, don't get me wrong, I love that girl, but where Irma is concerned, the question is, how far can the opposite go?
And now to finish this dictation. Dear Miss Irma Peterson. Isn't that strange? Someone with a name just like mine. This is to inform you that you are fired. Oh, that poor Miss Peterson.
Miss Peterson,
Yes, Mr. Clyde.
you read that letter? You're fired.
Me?
Yes, you.
But the letter
Miss
said...
Peterson, for the life of me, I don't know what goes on in that head of yours when I give you legal dictation.
Was something wrong?
Wrong? Why, if I hadn't checked the last batch of letters you typed, Senator Adams would be lobbying in Reno with Mrs. Park, and I would be suing President Truman for a divorce. Now get out. You're through. You're fired.
Richard Rhinelander Investments, Miss Stacy speaking. Yes, I'll check on it immediately. Richard, Mr. Gerard just called.
Forget Mr. Gerard, Jane. Say, what's this nonsense about you resigning from your job?
Well, Richard, I think my letter of resignation speaks for itself.
But why?
Richard, I've come to the conclusion that it's better to be the boss's wife and worry about the secretary than be the secretary and worry about being the boss's wife.
But how will you make a living, Jane?
Well, fortunately, Irma has a good, steady job. She'll take care of me like any other one.
Jane? Oh, she's not home yet. Well, that's good. I won't tell her I lost my job until I've had a chance to talk it over with Al. He always knows the right thing to do. Come in?
Hiya, chicken.
Oh, hello, Al. I didn't expect you so early.
I had to get out of bed. The landlady wanted to change the linen.
Al, how's your new job working out?
Perfect. I quit.
But you haven't started yet.
Honey, I've been thinking it over. I go to work, right? Somebody has to pack my lunch, so I marry you. They work me like a dog. I come home, I'm irritable. We quarrel, then we fight. First thing you know, we're throwing things at each other. Finally, you get hit, you fall to the floor crying. No, Irma, no. For a little thing like a job, it ain't worth it to make you miserable.
Gee, Al, you're a real gentleman. Any other fellow would take the job and make me miserable.
Well, I'm glad you see it my way, kid.
Why do, Al? Gee, it's a small world, isn't it?
What do you mean it's a small world?
Oh, the day before you quit your job, I get fired.
What? What happened, chicken? Did the boss get fresh?
Oh, no, Al. Everything between us was strictly Potomac.
Chicken, this is a problem. We gotta find the answer.
While Al figures out his problem, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you veterans about the problem of your future security. You know, someone said that anything offering a permanent plan to keep one's life from getting all messed up would be a good thing for my friend Irma. Well, you know Irma, but Irma doesn't know anything about GI insurance. But for millions of women, GI insurance does spell future financial security. Do you know many women who'd rather be unhappy than happy? Who'd rather worry about bad luck than build up their own good luck? Maybe you think this can't be done, but it can. GI insurance is now offering this protection to women all over the country. And just between us girls, it's good for men, too. One way to get real financial security is to buy it. You can buy it with regular insurance premium payments. So veterans, hang on to your GI insurance. Keep up your regular payments. I'll be back later on with more details about permanent insurance protection. While Al was talking to Irma, I went out and did some shopping. When I went back to the apartment, I decided to tell Irma about losing my job, and she told me about losing hers. Oh, what a mess. Al stayed to discuss the matter with Irma, so I went out to get some air and think this thing out.
Oh, this is terrible. Jane's out of work, and I'm out of work, and you're out of work, and no money coming in, and...
Honey, let us carefully analyze the situation and see what can be done. Now, as I see it, there are three things we can do. First, there's a chance of me getting a job. So we immediately go to number 2. That is your chance of getting a job. This takes us to number 3. That's Jane. Jane will never be happy, nor will we, until we get that job back for her.
Oh, but how? I don't even know why she quit. Maybe she had a quarrel with Richard that developed into a misunderstanding.
Well, there's only one way to find out. We'll call up Richard and straighten him out.
Oh, no, Al, I don't think that would be right.
Gotcha, honey. Forget it. We won't call Richard. Instead, we'll call his father. Operator, I want Hilltop 5...
Al, that's a long-distance call.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? Operator, I was cut off. Get my number back immediately. Yes, it was Hilltop 5829.
Yeah, I'm nervous, Al.
Don't be nervous, chicken. You talk to him, and I'll tell you what to say. Here, take the receiver.
Okay, Al. Gee, wouldn't Jane be tickled if she knew what we were doing for her? Hello? I'm Mr. Rhinelander II.
Your name is Jane Stacy, and you worked for him a long time.
My name is Jane Stacy, and I worked for you a long time. Al, I'm not Jane Stacy.
Never mind. See what I tell you. You're a good typist. You never make a mistake. And what is more, you go out with his son.
I'm a good typist. I go out with your son. What is more, I never make any mistakes.
You're all wet, chicken.
You're all wet, chicken.
He shouldn't have fired you.
Al says you shouldn't have fired me. And what is more, guess what, Al?
What?
He hung up.
Well, he's a busy man. But don't worry, chicken. I'm sure you made an impression on him.
Well, I'm walking on air. I knew the only way to solve my problem was just to face it. So I called up Richard, and in 2 minutes we both realized how foolish we'd been. Come in. Richard, what are you doing here?
I haven't any place to go. My father won't even let me in the house.
I don't understand.
Jane, why didn't you tell me you'd called my father?
Me?
I knew you were angry at me for a while, but you didn't have to tell him all those weird things. That you were established and made no mistakes when you went out with me.
What?
Well, what is more, he's still my father. You have no right to call him chicken.
It's getting a little stuffy in here. I think I'll drift along.
Do that and keep drifting. Richard, I didn't make the call. Please try to understand. Oh, Irma, how could you?
I was only trying to help.
Only trying to help. Irma, if you and that fugitive from an employment office ever meddle in my affairs again, Irma, can't you see what you've done to me?
Jane, there's only one thing we can do. Let's go over and explain everything to my father, if only for my sake.
Yes, all right, Richard.
Oh, please, Jane, give me a chance to explain. I didn't mean any harm. I only wanted to. Oh, she's angry at me. She hates me. Oh, gee, they've all gone. I wish I were a man so I could feel like a forgotten man. But I deserve it because I made Jane unhappy. And even Al has left me. There's only one thing to do. Where's the pencil? To whom it may concern.
To whom it may concern. Do not drag the river from my body as I have hung myself. Signed, guess who? P.S. Don't tell Al, he worries. Richard, did you hear that?
Well, it's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it isn't, Richard. I'm terribly frightened. You don't know Irma.
But only someone out of her mind would do that.
I said you don't know Irma. Oh, Richard, what do we do?
Jane, if you're really worried, I think it's best to call the police.
Yes, the police. You're right, Richard, the police.
I'm telling you both, you're on the wrong track. We got to use the same tactics they use with all my friends. Offer a reward.
Oh, no. Oh, heavens, I'm afraid it's too late. Oh, Irma.
Did someone call me?
Irma!
Chicken!
Oh, honey. Oh, Irma. Oh, gee. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I never expected to see you again.
Neither did I.
Oh, listen, honey, no matter how much I yell at you, you must never toy with such ideas. We love you.
Well, Jane, I felt so unwanted that I wanted to... But it's all right now because, you see, before I could do anything, I met my old boss, Mr. Clyde. He begged me to come back to work.
Why? Didn't he hire a new girl?
Oh, he tried 10 of them, and they all sat around. But none of them could figure out what I wrote in the past 2 years.
One of these days, your term insurance, the GI insurance you took out while in the service, will have to be converted into a permanent plan. And right now is the time to start figuring out which of the 6 permanent plans will suit you best. Any one or any combination of the 6 is sure to fit your own particular needs as well as the size of your pocketbook. You can convert all the $10,000 right off the bat, or you can convert as little as $1,000, depending on how much insurance protection you can afford. You can have your GI insurance paid off to anyone you choose. The money will be paid the way you want, and that goes for a lump sum payment all the way up to a lifetime income, including lots of other arrangements in between. So, if you're smarter than my friend Irma, and who isn't, why not visit your nearest Veterans Administration office and find out how GI insurance gives you permanent protection?
And that's Here's to Veterans tribute from My Friend Irma, produced and directed by Cy Howard, starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane, with John Brown as Al and Leif Erickson as Richard, who, with their sponsor and the American Federation of Radio Artists, the American Federation of Musicians, the Advertising Council, and this station have donated their services and time to the Veterans Administration in the public interest. Tune in again for another star-studded Here's to Veterans show. And veterans, for advice and help with your insurance, loans, education, medical care, and other benefits, write or visit your nearest Veterans Administration office. This is Frank Bingman reminding you that a well-adjusted veteran means a happier and more prosperous America. And now, a word from your local announcer.